Akufo-Addo is a fraud theory.
Oh, how?
Captain, this is a man. What is it? What do you need? He's a fraud theory, Captain. What is Akufo-Addo president? How many years in here? Mena ya woman. This is a guy who has been shouted in the your friend saying political fringes for many years. Say our president fortunately enough, the president amount said the maiden edition. Okoria speeches about 4 American president okekabo no begina ho. Kana all kind on kind nketenkete kura o. Me take you back to 2016. Abrana John Mahama ye president na wutie nsema na president Akufo-Addo enam political fringes eka. Major one has to do with Bosnia ye boy. John Mahama was borrowing recklessly oba on for nyansasem, but na Ghana ni say John Mahama Bosnia no boy no. Ubehu Legon Hospital wasibi. Opa yankofa Kenoforata megina ha. Na yemfa aba ni nachi na yemisa na say kwaku Wabo Bosnia, Eurobond on Kwa raise over 13 billion. Debt in as a for now, what the buyer so to a point and Yaka cry intimintia until they are slow. Bosnia Oji and Adia would ye chere not Ghana for command Tom William. Mine and say a bedroom point a sebi what team crown who left from all right. And Captain the other side the number of Ghanaian youth exited the shores of Ghana. No, na me catch us. Who say ya nkra no to so bi kwa broche no wani agye man eh abroche ne boga obapo ya dwen ne say de anigye ne we ahoprepre ne kɔ abrochire basana ayensem pi ene e pama manfo furo mokrom ne nyina has to do with bread and butter issues. Ne nyina has to do with hope for the future. Amanfo is secure not only for themselves but for their kids. Ne na say for them. I've spoken to a lot of Ghanaians omoye retirees living in the US, UK. Mraso. So where they are supposed to come home. But question now will be so more has to do with issues of healthcare. Or na sitting send the BCI because conditions now are no. And ya dear condition. I bet you one brabo way. So what is our man for a casa and ya casa no be pet. Namum, we are all hoping say you bet me building the very foundations of this country. Said and chroma SEM vision, you know. Now you bet me nya da Ghana. Na see nya da Ghana na. I'm very sure, say, yenina yemre. Because I will go back to 1957, Abra Ghana nya independence. Now we had the hope and they will chroma say, and chroma take off. The kind of industrialization drive, our chassis, foundations are not only at the time, na ye say, a bajimu mere. Yes, in Yansa, New Horse Amre no. But then chroma saw the wisdom, say, me kwaji asase, funtam, akusi, the whole industrial city like Tema. Or year motorway the count. I'm told that by the time I Ghana year motorway, no, not even London in the motorway. So you can imagine the idea. And in such a way, say, Usiswa, Wunjina baby until you arrive at the industrial city, Tema, you drive back home. That was the idea. And my companies in us for the companies are Cassia, and my buy, my captain. Go back to Tema today. What is supposed to be an industrial city is today a residential area. Our politicians are killing one another for a plot of land. Some will be saying, so the vision we are trashing. Then you come to major companies and we are Osha say Okroma. Now no me video be on YouTube. Now I me say 1960 na Ghana sheshe car e Okroma say. 1960 near sheshe cars, buses akese e Okroma say. So 60, 70 years after. Not just say you're China and you're crass we don't have those things. Now you should know that we have failed. Last time now we talk about tie factory, city, shoe factory, sugar factory. Then I say for you see the economy be a nice one has to do with the basic things like this. Import. So with me a produce near ma ube here so that one will see can carbon and then the more minor a change with destiny. And the yen nyansa cry yet here yam pass ya dibiano to any nafa China. Na China one of the richest country and sana Simon Kusnet order the GDP as a metric they measure economy abano. Now he says later now apply no. Oh who say na China one of the richest countries in the world. But 50 years after China degenerated one of the poorest countries near compared to your friends Sub-Saharan African countries. Then the whole thing changed. Because China realizes I have the numbers more than US, more than UK. So why can't I leverage my numbers for economic takeoff? Then they decided to do industrialization way. And China shall see produce near Mabia and Uncro for here. Because your phone na America for your phone. Na Obia Chrome ni air tobacco. China for Benny Paduaman out to America because they are over 1.3 billion and over. Right. America are around 300 something million. So why na Benya? That is a strategy. enti ade bia obehu se ya no America se bi ne boy ye den kura na China ye ne inferior one na ode aba na waton wa nye ne sika saa akwananimu ama ene they've been able to leverage their number and the China industrial hub many of the Nema ye use no high when it comes to electronic gadgets and as what it's no growing up no now most of them every Japan ever by China taking the market and even phone krano why won't be into iPhone no Huawei ni Oppo no wine I take the center stage I ne what me turning the country around and as of Maya fortunately for us captain we Nema ye win na me say China ni half when it comes to natural resources, human resources, they don't even have it.
They don't.
But how are they able to position themselves to? Na ye to me ye nya na ya fra bro for kumumra ye nya gold o mo me fa nko mutu a mo ma yembi ye nya oil mo me fa nko mutu a mo ma yembi I say ye nim nyansa e na ye te ha but da bia ye te radio so e na ye politics and consistently no or minor sink it to a point da bia me can say we another country like China. Yes, ye cedi adivalu na yesu, ye cedi adivalu na yesu. Omona transia will say, okay, dollar ni a stable currency. There is no way you can compete against the dollar. So your strategy is say, yam produce ye nema, so that we don't need dollar to go and import. Even ya kran, yam koso na yen devalue yesikano. Sebe ya foreign goods, abaya disincentive for average Chinese person to go and buy foreign goods. Because what China, you can't buy iPhone unless you're super rich. So that money you need a phone, so you buy from Huawei. It's a strategy, and then China is the second most, your friend is saying, biggest economy in the world. I now we rub shoulder with the US. You buy a chrome here. The promises and the many things may take you back to 2016. Abrana John Mahama, your president, now in Samana, President Akufo-Addo, and non-political fringes. Major one has to do with Bosnia, your boy. John Mahama was borrowing recklessly or bound for Indians, but na Ghana ni say John Mahama Bosnia no boy no ubehu Legon hospital wasibi interchange ya na wa say hospitals akese rich hospital na ye mpatadan wa ko be because me Legon na me ko hokwa ye fa dey say clinicals na ye mpatadan na nesi wo if you go to read today you see say one of the modern facilities are state of the art Uko Kumasi a ukoye documentary about the medical village yesi Kumasi at Offori. Yet the program so na deputy minister Frey Oma assurance say oh in the next 3 months no Offori be ya adwuma till date Offori enya adwuma. Enti Busia na ye board that time no at least obetimi abobo 1 2 3 or the about the captain. Ya bobo siya ba ma no niema twa ye ho hia say there is nothing a obetimi ato wani dia hwe enra na me ka kire obi say ade be mpa na ya wo kroma say Ghana be kwakobọ nkwase abosia na ka me ne yen na be kwakọ gina China ni anim apa na chew so wo he China ni na he be na ni tuatua na be na ni wo na Ghana ni egina China ni anim pa na chew so omfa ne kanche na hwe awere ho a eye then other institutions in na sefo nom yagu yanim ase akire wiase obi asesabi when it comes to abrabobọ ne ya na yebo enti busia yebo na bonte na yaka amena kosuri we Ghana ni no to ani hwe kroma you will expect ya obehu ne makese abran babunu wie at school onya adwuma ye nwuma ho economy ni ukoye sika na yakobo busia na diaba but oto ani hwe kroma there is no trace how betimi hu se sa sika na die we na de ye in the last time America opa yankofa kenofurata megina ha na yamfa aba ni nachi na yamisa na say kwaku wabobosia eurobond nkwa o raise over 13 billion debt ni na sefo na wo de buy so to a point and yaka kra yentimi ntua unti wo de yesrewo bosia na wo je ye ade a wo de ye kire na Ghana fo akoma ntom yem captain one hwe ya wo de ahomtie babu na kuno because onyanyan sade bia nka nkirewo bosia na mo boy na ya sika na gu and in some way na amanfo sorry radio so na omo ka amanfo free say oh boys aba no ye den mrantia no ye di media for no the reality is a first no and na we control the traditional media not anymore. Politics has always been the politics of narrative for Akufo-Addo people who feel say Ghana for enim nyansa and you know you benya few guys in fancy suit our more traditional media now you spill garbage to people convincing people so yeah bibi but the fact check and the realities now there. Captain Smart wetin say we feed the akoba bia see ya adwuma akwa as to whether it is true or not. You come and report. And then those armchair journalism where old people sit in a chair and I may ya adwuma 20 years in and a year then impact ben what make our society. And kaite kroma ya beda sori na nka ya nya keta pot to be a signboard. You will see you and a for over bad 4 years in here. There is absolutely nothing there. Nasa amount for a can't same way no bit in general. Man, a time. May time buy a Akufo-Addo to president. The Ebian Koya me papa and Kamani Baje. But 100% of Papa president. But it's not about being president. It is not about say when you. It is about say 2 million at the mouth, no papa. Nyansa dear Ben, na what dear ye? Why leave legacy? Beja amount for because we see. So we are say Sika the beer we are say I wouldn't nyansa. Because from my background, so what you say Sika is everything in life. I wouldn't nyansa. Because from the background where I'm coming from, I've been at the hospital. I've been with people and people move at the point of their death. They had everything in life. Oh, Senke Sikam Kwan Yadeji or Monkwa captain. They could have doubled the pay and come back to life. But at that point, you know, Unu Binum Kasanu Tien some more catch and if they had opportunity to come back, Massa, Ebi Akrabe Sika will be a pan come for how they could have perceived a different life altogether. So you must be a fool to sit somewhere and say, Media Meba by Minumanyami, you are a fool because life isn't about money. Captain T. Abra, your first Kwame Nkrumah, Ofra Bruchira Obano. Or the Portamont to Nebayo. Because the guy came frustrated because I'm told he wrote his law exams in the UK. He couldn't pass 1, couldn't pass 2, and out of frustration, he was shipped in. He came, fully decided to work. He did not pursue well to. And Nkrumah and say a cap president Bakwa Obedi Ghana Kunyana Ahiana. Now he's one of them. Only estate, only a dime or East Legon, only a dime or he fine estate, but a net. The legacy of Kwame Nkrumah has transcended beyond generation and never do call Addis Ababa. Kwame Nkrumah state you esi ho. I didn't tell you say oh Africa had done with no was can question state you infancy Addis Ababa. Political textbook be Africa be no be ma. Kwame Nkrumah din wo. Every single thing about politics, leadership, governance, Kwame Nkrumah is there. But any real estate and how much dollars he had in his account. It is not how much way, it is the impact and the legacy that he left in his wake. I'm told it's a one African country, or more currency, or more Kwame Nkrumah Tina. Guinea. Yeah, about the saying, Guinea. So Kwame Nkrumah in Guinea. So a Chesa Brabon Winyana Bonia, people will remember you. So we do not need President Akufo-Addo. Emmanuel Kwesi statue, Kwesi Baby, Nwan Kopaho. We don't need to do that. Oba Brapapa, a man for best statue, even a bra. Na amanfo akayo cause yatiha and I see a the African millennium man Kwame Nkrumah over years ago but he won. Yabisa Mandela the new journalist no more about much about Kwame Nkrumah went to Madiba the Kobe and say now what yana Kwame Nkrumah be a wu da so wa any ade we na so wunu nipa meto aba no ma no because ono ankasa kra enim say otoma Kwame Nkrumah because of the impact and the legacy that he left. So we obi a we nyansani na say wo we are conversant with some of these issues. Your more leadership position, but it is about the impact you make. Radio out to see. It's not about scanning as a forecast and as a driver, but it's about the impact you are making on people. The number of people who have their troubles and they can look up to you because you are a revolving point. That is all that leadership is about. By Hano. It is about pursuing certain narrow agenda, priorities in the forum. So we don't even care when I find the number. Because me kai pass Abra Obama by American president. Or they couldn't read, you know. Now the economy was a bit tumbling. Near man Shaddam Kuye. Joe Biden has always been an ideal president in the shadow. At the time, Joe Biden, Obama, the possible candidate to replace him, Joe Biden. But you know what they did? They look at the economy, the terrain. Waba umraso umafuna mamfo nema nkoye intino just sit aside. Joe, don't come. Mama Hilary Emra sabe ya mamfo may attribute you to my failures. Enti mama no ba no it was a different ball game altogether because no their cause no in as much as oil democrat ni no oni bibi exactly that is showing respect to for the people. But yeah high so we Akufo-Addo presidency what so in the last 8 years captain. Makacha said the whole presidency was premised on fraud. Oh yes, because Akufo-Addo himself is a fraud theory. Yes. He's a fraud theory. A concept you can study in the universities and then as for. Akufo-Addo is a fraud theory.
Oh, how?
Captain, this is a man. What is it? What do you need? He's a fraud theory, Captain. What is Akufo-Addo president? How many years in here? Men are a woman. This is a guy who has been shouted in the your friend saying political fringes for many years. Say our president Fortunately enough, the president amount said the maiden edition. Okoria speeches about 4 American president okeka bom no begina ho. Kana all kind on kind nkete kura o. Ahoden ne kon hu nti ne go and look at the video. Be citizen as for among 4 speech no kabom. So in the first place, president now Obama will maiden edition. What senior the problems, the challenges of the people are. Ufru akomom e kasa kire obono. Ono nya na akomom no furu ye. Or among 4 speech no ko wi na okeka bom because personally he didn't have any vision. That is the fraud beginning or the fraud theory. Come my culture say, Sadia no ye ya fan who di no. Joe Biden, current president of America, or ye be one fan who in 1988 when he launched his campaign. Joe Biden in 1998, he was too young. Among for say, he cannot be president. But they are saying that he's too old. This is what happened. All launching a campaign, okojina platforms, so na all kasa, and na okofa obiasama waka. One attribute to that person. Then they accused him of your friends are textual infidelity, plagiarism.
That's right.
For that matter, no, he had to resign from his entire presidential whatever. And the man, the caucus be replaced now only George Bush Papa. A call contest at George Bush Papa and the winning yeah. Emma Joe Biden cotton and chain. The political career crown almost away because a Obama and a Baba revival no. That is the crime. Akufo-Addo got away with on his maiden day. Abro speech till date. Even the decency to apologize to Ghana and say, "Oh, I'm sorry because of the because and this affairs now. Uncrophobia no control media no." And now with the click of the button, you can just go to the internet, Google, and then all of a sudden the videos were all over. But Akufo-Addo till date couldn't apologize to Ghanaians. Then he promised Ghanaians another fraud theory. Meba, I will protect the public purse. Captain, the public purse no real. Public person ayira yes is only protecting ayira
person
ayira because it has been chrono upon chrono because you see in modern governance there is a reason why you don't family members because you see as a president you need to have a willpower to crack on people ever go wrong. The very moment you ship in your family members into the fray you lose one thing. That is the willpower to crack. Because your family member, when they mess up, you cannot do anything with them. That is the genesis of Ben Ali's your first and 4 Tunisia. I give rise to this. Your friend is saying Arab Spring na course no because ne fie for ne yere nua ne yere wofasia military generals no so mo de gum na ni ba mo ho so no na oman na atetia pansam. And the very moment abon kanoforata bam old baby mama ebam na yere dada ebam ni nuam ba nie no wofase nie no eno ebe choki aban to the stand say obi afri say o amamuo na nya amamuo biem ya ofa na bie akurase pharmacy bi na wasesa ya gum say sabi ya nton nema enti captain just imagine ofa bie pharmacy shop akurase na do watenam ade na ya tapa na this can be topa on fantu because ofa ntimi nyo hwe
oh yeah opa me
akwahe because ofa say ba de ade a abusiafo ba beka. That is exactly what is playing out. So, men not here, you say governance in their person. To them, a village supermarket no more for being was so more good no more tongue. They are sales boys.
Oh,
yes, and no more tongue di. Nanya tongue no more tongue di. Near money a tongue near di. So, we take his stock say, Sabi. Near man say a koya and I say enquire make profit and I say make profit. No, Captain, whatever house no, na store no go. And the Ghana store no, agu. And until a car many yanya to the stand say the China foka hey your bilateral creditors because we have to beg China to forgive us. Paris Club your first saying other international way I do moka and the big one among them has to do with the commercial space Eurobond. Captain William said so why your investment kakra you know very well say among all the investment portfolios the most secured your stock your friend saying bond and your stock because stock no obetimi ada sorry adebeche na fluctuations na se for usika nyina wo lusu ebetimi aba ma na di ya ma but when it come to your friend saying bonds there are secured coupon rate given to you maturation date only and wo twen say esu a okwakoju usika and for the first time in the history of this country captain Ghana for mudo musika koto bond and omusika kam
Debi me ka ho
exactly Michael Branson ka ho
sika be the top bond man me bakofo me the 2J kufo ya 2 ni din the Addo for the buy me the top bond man JA kufo akola aketwa e was stand chart e ka ho
that so but that is supposed to be the most secured investment Albania and
abaya fa kufo akola aketwa sika
and then President Akufo-Addo beka kire and say President Akufo-Addo beka kire and say oh Ghana for munsi abotere yen nyina yen share the burden What is our president cancer as a citizen? You calm down because minim. So South Korea, there was a time. I buy no de car to a pointer. Not on to me no hoche. Citizens who say I buy wagon papa on it team and yen pet and all yet and I said be a car but yeah yan kase best sunlight. Captain, read about it. So for sunlight your one kasa we no gold we were diamond we sika a sunlight on more ring a good and the command buying say on town on faculty anaka. And the Chelsea a buyer or getting nipa on nipa so getting home. That is what you do. But this is a government that or catch us a title belt. President through ni belt na watateno. The belt no horse crowd mobi. Na fuka tu no didi me. And na pensioners are sabi. Omo time so se. Omo saka omo sika. And na kroma sa what the hospital abonso be 60 years, 70 years, 80 years a captain because of environment the conditions I women you know. A medication upon a cocktail of medication I want also. You can't exit. Who exit ya obewu and yet anti-hypertensive na ye anti-diabetic and yet diabetic several conditions because at that age you know what comes with it. Man for say investment in omodo musika captain. The number of mpanimfo mu ewo kroma na no kama pharmaceutical papa no fiko for ria no say what in the audio no anche wawu okọ senchi beach resort kase na ewo ho na mahama na amanfo kwotena kwaye we bi some time ago no papa no wawu all because of this same investment amanfo kwaye omu abinding in sato musika so enti citizens are being forced to sacrifice but the question is government are you ready so what to when you hear the other side state institutions are what mind seek dim crasism and at the end of the day no abina bunani agu so as if say hwe nko so and there's over TV Bank of Ghana say launch new building. This is a banker or say papa kwasindium around the banker boka we ato Asian around the banker boka enti yengu omo bank e ma individuals o musical bank ni nyina yengu no captain Bank of Ghana aboka over 60 billion Ghana cedis unprecedented in the history of this country. And omusi building besin ne adesin to me the edge or to me explaining anything to anybody because at some point in time I buy no call at abonte so kobo say ya pam on say challenge na mo free say ye nkrase for sika na mo je no book na makuki no we can't give you any money. They came back and fall on Bank of Ghana say print sika na fama. So the guy turned Bank of Ghana into a printing press. And that's already no pa. Yes, so mun coffee. Ya da ho na ya print cash good system num. Ya ni buy ho so no. Na inflation do 60% and over. Or mine no adidia pansam adibi enyeye because production low, more currency floating in the system. And then what the economy not titia pansam and I did to ho. So sa niema we nyina na Ghana for ma de bedru say ya transie ne. Na ye take peep into 2016. Na ye hwe niema na ye koso. Now you hear promises and not President Akufo-Addo de Ghana for. Now you hear baby Yababedru and Neya. Captain, you see that there is a huge gap between the reality and the promises made. And the sad aspect of this whole thing, Komakat is a presidency, governance, leadership, a human institution. You can't expect everything to go but Captain, there is one thing that you need to manage. Your relationship with the people. Makacha said the only relationship that might exist between power and the people should be that of intellectual kinship and mutual respect. And you respect the people. You read the sentiment, the mood of the pulse of the nation. Now what they are here. But there seems to be certain attitude, a certain posture of arrogance. Ghana for Neman see a man for a can no. Just a president na kasa de say on fa de o kan okra say sabi we toy bi kra ma no. Enti de ono pe Offori say ebe into the political score no whatever no. That is exactly what they are doing pursuing in this country. Enti sa oba ha abra schools ne na se for Neman koye Neman titia pansa mo kroma Ghana for expect say aban beye bibi awedi mu yegu banks ama amamfo sika kekam ne na se for no aban betam Ghana for sika eda ko sika cathedral captain cathedral ne yentimi nwie ye besisa amamfo sika kutu amena abujaje omo kan asem na the party don't say ni say ye bujaje sedan to gu ye ansa na ye nya land no eba bes kutu amena wo ho ase $58 million ye nya sofo akesifo mo sorry this project we ye chi how many times a month na radio so an kan cho say na ye no emwo wo bia but ekoduru ba bia krono sem ne na se for ba mu no then we heard from these pastors men of God almost say ye ko Israel ko fa man na ne ye fa biblical gardens abakroma no Afei, omonam we sorry my free board no so. We sorry I'm a free board no so. You say, who free board no so that is not the issue. The issue is that sikana ya wasting away. So how do we get our money? And I come back to the question of holding people accountable for whatever that they did. So fraud theory now, one of the major things that Ghana for Gina so the two Abama Kufa and say, oh papa we na samia deal. I told the idea. Or he will play hardball with you, corruption, yeah. Because anti-corruption campaign and all running Kruma captain and all the buyer. So Obeda sorry Kruma. Scandal now starts here and it's a cash for seat or the presidency. Common investigation into that particular matter till date, we don't know because NDC came out with their report, MPP came out with their report. Another day, we couldn't even adopt any. So that particular investigation, you know, is a waste. Now, no, yet, man for who dollars upon dollars, OCC led up them. We listen to whole sort of foolish and nonsense, your friend saying, explanation as to why she had that particular money.
Oh, yeah, somebody.
And so when I'm catching confirm not you could in somebody. Captain, anti Sanya money in number same cause. So now you're free said the state will commit state resources to investigate some of these things. But in the end, what happened? The matter has been killed. Special prosecutor lamenti. At some point, you can't some share and say, or not kill matter. He had to come. So, Tale, minyan kele matter biya. Many drew a point that I thought some money laundering and a new room. Intimidima Yoko. Say Yoko investigate. Tiwaji case and not sure letter come out. Attorney General say, when about me then you settle to baby. And then the woman killed the matter. And Tiwani ya kwasi ni state you. And you kwasi Yoko animu. Say on a hey, we are jokers. Now I say when government changes some of these even that very night, you know. They should petition the government to destroy all these things.
Yeah, the way
no
way you petition government. Oh, yeah, no answer call reverse now. The
baby, people understand what I'm saying.
Let me say we no answer articulate call reverse.
Alaska, hey, Captain, me say people will understand what I mean because some of this nonsense we cannot sit here and tolerate some of these things because at the time I Ghana for here near ma sebe manipa abrabo asesa bread and butter issue yet to kroma na yakofa amrantie NAPCO stopgap measure till date a voice in it. So you see say yetiana say yakase ya chronic issues na obeka kan mama fa conclude say aden papa na mom penasem. Why will anybody on his right senses say I hate my president? It's not possible. We don't do that politics. So we are not anti-government activists and whatever. We just want the right thing to be done because I just want Ghana to be a just society where say abrantia sorry or ni so kofa phone kofa bi ansa na wadidi oba sorry anya say oton who cheap the man baby ansa na wadidi.
And I
but the same kokografo na who are supposed to lay proper foundation, you know, omo says because what this 60 years na yasi am in ministerial position, you know, or couple land na akofa akra wadi 23 years or any PA.
O say
me say akokra na to lay proper foundation, you know. Yaman the post, you know, or to kan couple land na afa buy you wadi 23 years or any PA. So you see, there is no motivation. Captain, there is no motivation. Say onye bibi to fix the problems. But economy biya be jina we are young people. Let them have access to capital. Because Captain, obi already 20 years, obi already 30 years. Onye sika, they risk, they invest. Obi already 60 years, 50 years. When they get the money, they wait for the returns to take care of their life because we're seeing war crimes. So it is that everywhere. It's the reason why America adopted a policy to get a lot of people in because they are aging. Because we are younger, who Falari are offer, who iPhone 6 are offer, who iPhone 16 are offer, who are offer. But we are already 60 years old, iPhone 15 years. What I say? So those people don't grow economy. But the young people who are supposed to transact, do things to get these things, buy mortgage, and we are already 60 years on top mortgage. And the economy was still dead. So you need young people. Say you need capital. They say young people in some say because they are the very people who are ready to experiment. But these old people are the very people then they channel everything into real estate because that is the new deal. Yeah, the wash sika say because so when you sika no koto bank e bisa so when you sika no he na menya no me de koto nchense de koto cement e de kosi dan koto asase say emfa channel bi am no say dan ni si ho then I set bank account. Then when you buy the land, then the money comes. Then it means that a genuine money from the sales of that building. But why you got the money to build that, nobody ask. And they don't know to chrome her. If you were US crown now, make you transfer scanner because it's genuine because a real estate car. That is how people wash money. Saying. At the end of the day, money is supposed to go to young people to do business and as for no, that money is not there. And then back to the main Akufo-Addo story and then as a captain.
Fraud theory.
Akufo-Addo is a fraud. They were Pemo. And I know I'm a catcher say all corner was sell mine no. And I can find the Chinese version and all the neighbors on my metan your fans Ghana for so. Because you see, there is nothing Akufo-Addo yet Bawumia and your part. Because Bawumia and Anna 2016 only did the lectures, everything. Your fans say chastising, bastardizing, insulting, and a whole lot of stuff. Giving theories and as for say, oh, dollar rate, CD rate, ya borrow do donate as for no Twitter, it is all over. Then he comes over. Then Ghana economy, I experiences shocks in the history of this country. A been see that. Because this is the first time. A coming a year to a point, a Yakwa declares a challenge we can pay. This is the first time you default on your debt. This is the first time into me we have inflation numbers and as for to the extent that even nipa we Ghana for Kromudo Bisika wa buying Bosiano. So this is the narrative. You don't hear Bawumia anywhere talking about the economy. No, say oh yeah, IT, your friend says specialist. Creating an impression on the internet by Ghana. But who be say your friend is saying digital infrastructure ben Leo Chroma. He will not be able to tell you anything because all the infrastructures were laid and over. But because Onama all proud in he's making look like but the core responsibility is the economy. And the economy not to tear Pansama say all that they have to do is to go around the country and apologize to Ghanaians. That is all that Bawumia and Akufo-Addo from one ahimfie to another, from one town hall to another, apologizing to Ghanaians for investing faith, trust and confidence in them. And the Omodemaya return, a broken heart, a distraction, the fact that the economy will take years to recover. This is the reality. So we need decency. Now we begin to have a catch Ghana for say, young to about when you know, say, Vice President now, you are not just a pushover, you are not a sissy. But rather, we are a partner to whatever that has happened. Now, so we say Ghana for about now the question is based on what? And a Ghana for because you see the whole essence of presidency, basic thing has to do with trust. Can I trust Captain Smart? Answer idea Juma we ever no. And yes, Okasa and as any party one thing. Are you reliable? Can you do the job? Say you hear what beba or time so beba. Because you can be the best, but every time near Casabraha 1 o'clock. Ubedra na about 3. What I say? So trust is key. So my question is can Ghanaians trust Bawumia when it comes to some of these things? Because the track record are there to tell you are part of this whole messy economy that we are in now. So Senka Ghana a serious country, now a serious. Do you think Senka Bawumia the courage to come and say the most important day in his life, the political career has to do with the unveiling as a vice president. That's the biggest political stage ever in his life. What did he do?
He messed up.
The guy used the day to create the biggest scandal in our political history by going off on Nkrumah. So at the end of the day, what he did, people didn't even talk about it, but they were talking about this. And it has been that upon that. Oh, no, education minister, okay, say, diploma teachers are born.
Training college,
yes, and there are several instances, what then did. What you say when it comes to leadership, he's nowhere close. Because you see, you can have a bad president, but you can have a deputy president that will complement it for the shortfalls. Because the whole essence of vice president is to get somebody to fill in your shortfalls for you so that you complement and become a whole. Because in Nkrumah time now there was nothing like
the vice president.
Exactly.
So vice president
exactly. So or complement but captain. Maybe more problems, economic problems. Ghana for trust me. Now me po be manaba patena me. Now kofo be say be under ne reputation as for share gatab na wouldn't ya. Then it means nipa na oba be di oboso no. You have no respect for them. It's the reason why na no hininto no MPP ni. MPP former general secretary catch us say Ghana for tenase santo abama Akufo-Addo be but then a chance that they will never respect the people of this country. Because Genia Ghana formed in recent times. Baby I na nam na baby eba bedru enne na se ye koso to abama MPP aban bi ma e chese yankasa ye nim nyansa is the reason why I first time about radio so we catch us wherever in the world that we sustain bad governance nobody is a victim. Nobody is innocent. We are all sponsors and accomplices. Because you contribute to giving oxygen of publicity to what is happening. And we also have the same thing to stop this nonsense. Sometimes it's not about where you stand or where you belong to. U.S. elections hereby I teach a man for a lot of lessons.
Oh yeah, sure.
Donald Trump no be dissociating from him.
Maybe the them supporting.
Yes, and I say no they were winning. And your friend is saying all the liberal medias in the U.S. now were bastardizing, insulting, and so forth. But when it comes to the core issues, the issue is that America cannot afford to have a weak president because you are the leader of the free world. You can't have a weak president leading America. Umanya no can who be stage so ultimate the 3 minutes esere ansa na beka dia waka.
Hey Kamala.
Yes, do you think people will take you serious when you are going to sit on the round table with the Talibans and the Houthis and the way to have a discussion to your friends say get global peace? You think they take you serious? So you see, leadership, trust a man for wo is everything. But that is what we don't have. But enam say political class no respect for us, and they think that they can buy a man for conscience and then as for they can just do anything and get away with it. But me I look back. Now me share politics. Captain, you've been around for quite a while. So utu when you back to 2000 and kufueba. Utu when you here 2004. Your friend saying 2012. Then as for yaba biduro higher. You should and you know very well say politics are changing. There has been a lot of changes. And never be agree. We've taken a radical turn. Young people are taking the center stage. You cannot fool them anymore. Because it's so easy to access information. Now me catch that KSM say no young person consumes information and sit idle. When you consume information, it's one mensa. When you're dying overboard, then the reaction will come. Who consume information? You will act on the information because you become critical. You begin to ask questions. You want to know why you did this. Yes, many captains, madam for no. Yes, why you say? I want to know why you did that. I'll question you. You understand? The mere fact that doesn't mean say, no. That era is long gone. That is water. The old class cannot wrap their head around how we are today. Seeing young people asking all the relevant questions. But I'm saying, say, Captain, we are Ghana near. Obi Antanya Kufuado. Hey. The only time you can make money is this time.
Come here, rich papa.
So it's not about money. So it's not about money. Then what? So it is about your conviction. Sitting down, realizing, say, this is not what we bargained for. This is not what I fought for. This is not what I who sent Kamen Sabaka and Alanchira Mountain of all people said, why is it a party? MPP or Hininto Hassana. No. This is not the
MPP.
Paula Fokoko. Yes. So you see, we need to be
Addo, former Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry.
Yes. So politics, and I'm saying it is about conviction based. Ideologies are there, but it is about the person doing right or wrong. That is why sometimes I disagree with Ghanaians. Just a Ghana bay, just a third force. But I'm saying you are just jokers. You see, when you have a problem, you don't run away from the problem. We can still have 2 political parties. Hold them accountable. Say you vote the person out.
Sure.
What I say? Say ne ya 2 abana John Mahama president or China. Na or say Odin Semuna. The only thing you do is to vote him out. Because once you met radio, so Abra president didn't say then you support him. It's not possible. So when we begin to do this, we will be able to put them on their shoes. In America, for instance, a 2-party has been in existence. But look at the rate at which they are changing them. Donald Trump by people felt say they voted against him. Papa way by. Also more than will be atom. I said you more dama or mine will be able to gumna man for across to the biasa. And then how do we ensure the security of that country? So at the end of the day, the people voted against him and then they bring in a new leader. So at the end of the day, so what's your Koreans who are captain? Obey careful. That is all that matters. And over careful. And at this point, ye nina me ni and I may santini and I had a woman to me in the park. Let your conviction speak for you. Tama so say, you better answer beside all the questions. Abayano diana manya film. What is the interest? What is the future like? How do we make sure say you better me and your mind see baby asabi or mine no da ye. The Ghanaian dream na ye can no. How are we going to achieve that? These are the relevant questions that we need to change. But me say at this point, these people have crossed their Rubicon. Tama so we need to vote them out. The only reason we are voting them out and they say You bet me hold you accountable for the many crimes. We have a Ghana Namia.
But when na be.
Oh, Minshan in person that. Me who know I was Castle radio, so but I've never met him in person. And Sautie and Sama or Kana. You might wish to say, oh yeah, Obi are part of the old politicians. I said we might contribute to where we are today. But as a young man, no, you free say certain new narrative bet me pay up. Now politics na no, serious politics. Now young that old cheap way of doing politics. It's unfortunate because in some now only radio so are all kind, you know. And you see a contradiction or contradicting who throughout. So you ask yourself, so where are we going as a country? One, also some media fair press conference. Legit, your friend saying, brigadier. I can't say, I'm sure some brigadier no one. It is a free some media fair can't say my father when I inquire. He has every right to respond to the issue. Again, some media fair legit can't say. And somehow also you ended up saying allegations upon allegations upon allegations. So it's a wokasa man from to some media video nintungu. Now they are all kanumum. Sekofi buache. A recruit to tax. That is the word he used. A trainee among for Kumase to cause violence. I know the day you are protecting somebody's integrity because of a woman there. Now, Kofi Wachina, one friend woman on the integrity, no to get the man's and Okufie. Only the integrity to protect. I think when you are speaking, we need to be very smart. We need to speak as an intelligent people because you see, there are a number of people out there listening to us. Oh no, me boomfu yeah. But you see, I'm so disappointed, sir. Politics, the young people in it, you know, I'm hoping that we need to have an honest conversation. I bet me we need to have honest conversation because you see, in some now seeking to prove a point says Sabi he's speaking to fools like gullible individuals they are not discerning. But we are very discerning. For instance, Abronya Sama walking, Abronya Tina radio, so the video has been trending. Minimum be as a medium vikas or can, but there is a video of your first Abronya. Or say you bought NPP Niwo when chia. You bought NDC for 10. Just the video is so nasty. And I was even expecting like a police for react. So it's not as if say Onyan cancer no. But the most important part has to do with this buffer stock issue. Also, are a board member of buffer stock. Captain. Ada Abrantie Timinya Kukudro catcher say, oh nothing. She see a cheap politics. But there has been real correspondences, document upon documents. That one who be mahubi. You're writing to the buffer. You're saying FDA. The company was seeking some moon changing dates in my end. Emma FDA catch up say yen timi changing date because yen manufacturer. Because me run me catch yourself from my background. You can say idea I aspire. Officially, it doesn't mean say I say you won't mean you. But what it means is say the manufacturer can no longer guarantee the safety of that product. And do call you sua obi bo ran yom wara wo jejeje. That is what it means. So FDA catch you say idea no mono enye ye. And you go back to the company. I think the company no catch you say mutimi meet certain conditions and then you can preserve it for you can have it for 3 years. As to whether they went through that procedures or not, and NSA FDA extended period, for several months up to April 2024. These are the factual realities, and in the end, some people are arrested in Kumasi and a call any yomo. I know the day the food ended up with buffer stock. Is it not true? Say food no, wholesome. Is it not true? Say you distributed to a man for. Is it not true? Say food now you can say you package. These are real issues that you should explain as a buffer stock, whatever. Or a butcher. You say we need to get serious. That is what I'm saying, sir. We need to review this policy of rewarding people with appointment and as for you see, and yes, because of cheap politics in Intino, we will end up enlisting a lot of easy minds. You can't easy mind as what as here. We will end up enlisting a lot of easy minds into critical positions where you expect them to bring intelligence to bear.
In fact, I want to go for a commercial break.
Captain, serious. Because you see, issue no about it is not about say NDC and say MPP. There are critical issues, sir. Because just imagine, say akraketwa consuming aduana to say the danger you are supposed to know to, and these are the factual realities, sir. And some no, this company in question, me catch say even 2021 Auditor General report. So Omu distribute unwholesome food. So this is a company that has a culture of distributing unwholesome food. Now I say we have to him as a serious government official respond here. It's just politics now. Obi na your propaganda and you go into elections. Food now we know. Obi your politics for what? We need to speak to the real issues. And I think and then ebi na we don't fit. Now Genesis 1990 no kasa. This is no 1990. Yes. This is 2024. Young people are very critical, they are very discerning. And the world can't say now. Just try to speak. And some no say they sit here, some nipa better was here. Men yen sa politics kasa because and nipa no mutio no and ya full soldiers in etio. There are critical minds who are listening, and whatever that you say no, I'm best subjected to critical scrutiny. Na young who say politics na yes serious politics. And yet there be never be NDC and MPP politics. Na issues near brushing us because asem we are okay and for NDC home and for MPP home. You need to address the issue because there are parents home who are worried. There are parents who are home who are worried. The documents suggest say indeed such food has been distributed. There has been a number of correspondences exchanged with the FDA, the company in question, and the parent manufacturer. Nina seek to suggest say a change date. You know how do you change date? Abras adena spy. Yes, no. Now, food now ended up in schools now. Even if a mere allegation, you see, a cause of panic among the general public. So, as a government official, you speak wisdom to them to allay their fears. You don't just brush it aside and say, "Oh, my NDC for no politics." However, how you think the platform hates you, it's an opportunity for you to reach out to a base. So, politically, strategically, and you're wise to avoid a station because you think and you're friendly. Because me hostile territory because if you're able to win one soul, it's a plus.
I remember say President Kufoka say union reps no more call Radio Gold. We're like
yes,
old man.
Yes.
Are you?
Yes, that is being politically savvy.
Radio Gold says
yes. Yes. And me political parties
wow.
Yankwaha no wa na wutu amana because obetina how you reach out to people. As a politician, you need convert. So you use the platform.
Ivan Mameno ase.
Yeah, we. But my men can't worry about elections,
Okay.
Captain, I think going into this year's elections, Ghanaians are and that's up to Ghanaians to decide. But the fact is, Ghanaians are really ready for this year's elections because I heard the experiences over the years. People want to use the ballot to make your friend saying a statement. And we are state institution, we are EC, we are government, we are police, we are soldier, and so forth. Don't ever think say you can use your influence, your power, the gun, whatever, to bend the legitimate will of the people of this country. Because at the end of the day, the will of the people will prevail. Whoever decides or best stop, will rather become a casualty. So don't you think we have the guns, we have the EC, let the people of Ghana decide their own fate. Don't try to bend this will because the experiences are Ghana for a form. They will not lie low for anybody to bend the legitimate will. Yahu be paying Togo. So the folk a man so how many people can you kill? So the reliance on this brutalities because who they see what a chiman. When innocent civilians were shot dead by military and police people till date, nobody has found a sense investigating. Nipona wukwa. President call her uncle be pass him be a catch that techiman for no say me buafu because man to abama me. That particular anger is still in the people. So nobody is going to the ballot to say obi na me so na me way dabi. This is the day Ghana folk decided their own destiny. So give them that particular power. Come catch say Rollins e kro betina konwa so 19 years and no hwehwe na wu no se fam. President Kufuor fear ne. Mahama bayo koye. No so hwehwe na wu no. Power is transient. So don't you dare sit there say me na me wo to me intino me handi over na I will you no. Oh yes sir, or mine because the experiences, the economic experiences Ghanaians have gone through, they are not going to lie low, sit aloof and watch anybody take over this country in the name of men and more power. We are military near, use nyansa, use wadring, don't allow anybody to use you because power a bet me at any point in time about Juma the reputation of Ajuma na you need to safeguard it. It's the reason why this critical state institution like the IGP in the police, the military in the CDS, they should know, sir, the allegiance is to the people of this country, to the constitution and to the flag, not to anybody who appointed you. It is to Ghana. We need to ensure, sir, we create a platform, very fertile platform. Ghana nibetimiya ko polling station akoto number, making sure that the vote is counted. And at the end of the day, say kwaku na ba we know sa bana na ba we know, that is up to Ghanaians to decide. But such machinations na me intimidating we know. Oh yeah, you will be the first person to become a capsule because me say Ghana for are really ready
for this year's elections.
Yes.
Thank you so much.